100 Laws of Life so you don't screw up like I did. Before we begin, I'd like to assure you that this isn't some AI-generated quotes compilation. They are painstaking, heartfelt lessons I can back up with true stories. With that being said, enjoy your night. You can either sacrifice temporary fun for permanent dreams, or sacrifice permanent dreams for temporary fun. If ignorance is bliss, then intelligence is suffering. Don't watch the sun rise. Get up earlier. Let the sun watch you rise. As kids, we loved heroes. As adults, we understand villains. You are only living the life you tolerate. Be careful what you tolerate. You are teaching people how to treat you. The strong live off the weak and the clever live off the strong. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. We are going from bread and circuses to cannabis and video games to psychedelics and VR. The quicker you understand that you don't understand the world, the better you will understand the world. Batman. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. They say you die twice, once when you stop breathing, and a second time a bit later on, when somebody says your name for the last time. No risk, no fun. You gotta know the rules first in order to break them. Aim to be brave, not perfect. Some things are innate, I know, it's sad, but you can still strive to live the best out of it. After your cowardly hiding, nothing has changed, despite the fact that doing things only gets procrastinated more. When does childhood end? When you understand that sleep is a gift, not a punishment. What makes a man unique is knowing he's not. If you live like no one else, then later you can live like no one else. If you're going to eat shit, don't nibble it. If you're going to have to swallow a frog, you don't want to have to look at it for too long because it ain't getting any prettier. Inside every cynical person, there is a disappointed idealist. You are not virtuous if you are harmless. A rabbit is harmless. It cannot be virtuous. You are virtuous if you have the capacity and capability to be a monster, but you choose not to be one. Rules are for the obedience of fools and the guidance of wise men. There's no such thing as deep down. All you are is the things you do. You are what you do. No one's laughing at your dreams. They are laughing at your ability. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. Small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. Those who can see the invisible can do the impossible. The devil doesn't come dressed in a red cape and pointy horns. He comes as everything you've ever wished for. Mark Twain once said, "Truth is stranger than fiction, because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't." Eric Smith, former CEO of Google, said, "When someone offers you a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on." What makes a man unique is knowing he's not. You need to hang out with people who fit your futures, not your history. There are always people who are better than you and don't have to compare too much with others, but you must not lose to your past self. Henry Kissinger famously noted, "Power is an aphrodisiac." Another lesser-known quote by Kissinger is, "Now when I bore people at parties, they think it's their fault. My philosophy is unpleasant because I speak the truth. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey." When you can't stay motivated, stay consistent. Consistency is going to bring back your motivation. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you are a friend of everybody, then you are an enemy to yourself. It's amazing how many terrible decisions can be avoided in a moment of emotion by simply waiting 20 minutes. If you earn your own respect, you earn everyone else by default. If you try to earn everyone else's, you'll lose your own. Every personal strength is shadowed by a corresponding weakness in yourself and others. Accept and work with this. The internet used to be an escape from reality. Now reality is an escape from the internet. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The reason fat men are good-natured is they can neither fight nor run. Great decisions are rarely made when you're starving, sleep-deprived, or sexually frustrated. If you want to be good at something, you have to decide in advance what you are going to suck at. Confidence without competence is delusion. You don't need faith in your abilities, you need evidence. Being a good man does not require being a nice man. Decisions make themselves when you have enough data. You don't truly know a person until they don't get what they want. A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. A mistake repeated more than twice is a habit. A mistake repeated more than 3 times is a character. Obesity detected, opinion rejected. Through an action, a man becomes a hero. Through death, a hero becomes legend. Through time, a legend becomes myth. Through hearing a myth, a man takes an action. People buy courses for perceived progress. This also applies to going to MBA, school, buying gym membership ECT. Power is having influence on external events. Peace is having influence on internal events. The best way, perhaps the only way, to change others is to become an example. Poor people stay poor because they are afraid of other poor people judging them for trying to get rich. You only live once, so try to spend as much time on the computer as possible. After you die, you won't have access to it anymore. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno of Elea. I don't take advice from people less successful than me. A fish with his mouth closed never gets caught. Your actions determine your character, and your character determines your future. I don't know who needs to hear this, but whatever you are going through, it's your fault. You don't truly know a person until they don't get what they want. A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create interest. I can't have conviction until I can argue the other side better than someone who believes the other side. Charlie Munger's prescription to misery, ingesting chemicals to alter your mood or perception. If you have an apple and I have an apple and we exchange these apples, then you and I will still each have one apple. But if you have an idea and I have an idea and we exchange these ideas, then each of us will have two ideas. George Bernard Shaw. The circle of life is nature's cancel culture. Death is nature's cancellation culture. We either become our parents or spend our life trying not to. Friends should be willing to pay more to support a homie's business rather than asking for a discount. Discipline is remembering what you really want. At the moment you might want pleasure, but you know it will cost you later down the road. Talking about your feelings doesn't solve your problems. Solving your problems fixes your feelings. We do this not because it is easy, but because we thought it would be easy. They say you die twice, once when you stop breathing, and a second time a bit later on when somebody says your name for the last time. We do this not because it is easy, but because we thought it would be easy. There's no need to admire people, because they have their own struggles. Likewise, there's also no need to feel pity for people, because they have their own happiness. You don't need to worry about progressing slowly. You need to worry about climbing the wrong mountain. Fast money, fast success, or fast benefits always come with slow problems. The three most important things in the world are as follows: health, relationships, and money. H.L. Mencken. Nobody ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American people. Every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. Your future needs you, your past doesn't. Decisions make themselves when you have enough data. The thing you're the most scared of might be the best thing to ever happen to you. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Mark Twain. When you lose a possession, you realize that you valued it too much. When you lose a person, you realize that you didn't value them enough. Rather than thinking of yourself as flawed, think of yourself as a superhero with a weakness. Just as we have a family of origin that we're stuck with, we can create a family of choice that we freely select. People say it's lonely at the top, but I sure like the view. There's always somebody out there willing to trade their life for yours right now within a heartbeat. Nothing changes if nothing changes, bro. However far you can see into history, however far you can see into the future, being disciplined and hardworking is much closer to freedom than indulgence. Congrats. You were born too late to explore Earth, too early to explore space, but just in time to watch this awesome video. Subscribe and good night.